Hey guys, Mr. Garrow checking in again for another quick tutorial. Today we're going to look at the 4-point grading scale and the system that we use in the social studies department to determine your grades. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of kind of where you can find that and what it actually looks like. So first thing to note, on the left-hand side of your screen, you're going to have your modules. Remember, the modules are kind of the organizing point for our entire course. Everything for every single unit is going to be contained in the modules. So all of your assignments, all of the presentations, all of the links and documentation and things that you need are in there. One thing I do want to point out is that at the beginning of the school year, you're going to have your unit 0, and that's just the introduction to our class. And one of the pages in that introduction is going to be the 4-point grading scale page. And so when you select that, you're going to be taken to this Google document, which is going to show you how we use the 4-point grading scale. All right. For some of you, this will be totally familiar. You've done this before in other classes. And for other people, this is going to be something that's brand new to you. But I want to make sure that I show it to you and kind of give you a basic overview of what it looks like. Okay. So the first thing to note is that the 4-point scale follows the traditional A, B, C, D, F grading scale. The only difference is that instead of using the 100%, as an A, we use a 4 as an A, right? So typically the way we like to explain this is that when you get a 4 on something, that means you did it perfectly. It was exceptional. That is A work, okay? Great creativity. You hit all of the marks, and it was an awesome assignment, okay? Typically, for most assignments, students who do well on them are probably going to earn a 3. And a 3 means that you mastered the assignment. You got what you needed to get out of it, and you did it pretty well. Okay, mastery is kind of what we consider B quality work, right? You got a B on the assignment. It's a solid assignment. You did a nice job. You didn't go way above and beyond or do something spectacular, but you did all that was asked of you, and you did it well. Okay. Typically on an assignment, if you get a 2, okay, that's the equivalent of a C grade. And a C just means that you passed the assignment. You did enough to show me that you understand the content, and I'm going to give you the credit for it. You passed, you got a C, you did enough, and that's solid, right? It's not exceptional work. You didn't maybe master everything. There might have been some problems with it or some errors. But you've done enough to show me that you've grasped whatever concept or skill we're working on, good enough to earn a passing grade. If you're earning a 1, typically that's D level work, and a 1 is in a situation where maybe you only did part of the assignment. You did not complete it, or perhaps you missed the main objective of the assignment and you only got some of the minor details. Clearly you attempted to do something, but maybe you didn't quite get it right. A D, a 1, is not a passing score, but it is obviously light years better than the equivalent, which is a 0, right? The worst case scenario is a 0, and that's what we call our F work. And basically, you earn a 0 for pretty obvious reasons, right? You didn't attempt it, right? You didn't turn the assignment in. If you didn't even give it an attempt, I can't give you a grade. So you've earned a 0. If you copy somebody else's work or you copy something off the internet, that's plagiarism. That's also going to earn you an automatic 0. You can't do that. You have to do your own work. Cutting and pasting from a website or something like that, it is not going to cut it, and that's going to cause you to get a 0. The other options, of course, are if you type something that's just kind of incoherent or has no meaning and displays no learning or skill. So if I ask you a question and you type something like LOL JK, right? I mean, I have no idea if you've learned anything. That's not an attempt. You might have turned something in, but you're not going to earn any credit for something like that. Okay. So that's kind of the basics of the 4-point grading scale system. And it gives you an idea of how we look at your assignments. Okay, there are rubrics for individual assignments that will go into greater detail, but the reality is that most of the work we do falls in this 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 categories. Okay, the other thing I want to point out is that up here at the top, you're going to see kind of a breakdown of the various points and how they translate to a letter grade. And I put this in here because in Skyward, which you're going to look at as well, we're going to do a video on how to look at your Skyward grades. In Skyward, you're going to get a number from our class. And instead of it being like 78% C plus, it might say 2.65% C plus, okay? And as you can see, the 2.65 falls in to this range, which is a C plus in the 4-point grading scale. For a lot of you, that's a little different. And so I want to make sure you know how to find that, right? Maybe in the past, a B plus to you was an 89%. Well, now a B plus could be a 3.3 on Skyward. It works out the same way. It's the same letter grade. It's just a different way of looking at the percentages, okay? So that's the 4-point grading scale in a nutshell. Obviously, if you have more questions, we can talk about it further individually, but generally speaking, if you got a 4, you did a great job. You went above and beyond. That's A work, 100%. Great job. 3 is B work. You've mastered it. You did what needed to be done. It was good. It was solid. 2 is passing. That's a C assignment. You got the basics and not a lot more, but you did enough to show me that you got the basics. And then a 1 and a 0 are your D and F scores, and those are clearly lacking some evidence of learning and or no attempt, right? So that's the 4-point scale. Again, you can find that in your course modules. We'll go over it in class. It'll be on the syllabus as well. And it's there for you guys if you have any questions about reading the grading policy. All right. Thanks a bunch. And as always, go Rams.